Good afternoon and welcome to the EVMS MD Class of 2025 White Coat Ceremony. Joining us today are also members of the incoming class of 2026 who were unable to participate in their ceremony a couple of weeks ago. At this time, I would like to acknowledge in the audience EVMS Rector of the Board of Visitors, Dr. Bruce Waldholz. I also want to welcome our students and their families and friends who have joined us today. I know you've been waiting a long time for this, and I see many proud and excited faces. We appreciate your patience as the pandemic changed all of our lives and the way we conducted academic learning the past 2 years. It has been a long road, and there are still many challenges ahead, but this experience will only make you stronger. Academic health centers typically have 3 special days of commemoration in the course of an academic year: commencement, match day, and the white coat ceremony. Commencement is a day of formal and regal tradition, a celebration and acknowledgement of the accomplishments of our graduates. Match day, when you will learn where you will be attending residency, is an exciting and festive event full of suspense and anticipation. Then there is the white coat ceremony. Of the 3 days, today is my favorite. The white coat ceremony affirms the core values we hold dearly in medicine: professionalism, integrity, compassion, empathy, and dedication. This ceremony reinforces the reasons all physicians and I answered our professional calling: to care for those less fortunate, to comfort the sick, and to make a difference in the lives of those we serve. It is a great privilege and joy indeed to be a physician. To the class of 2025, more than 8,800 people applied to be in your seats, but only 151 of the best and brightest joined your class. "74 of you are from out of state, and 77 are from Virginia, including 39 from right here in Hampton Roads. Collectively and individually, you are among the very best of the best. The class average GPA is 3.62 with an MCAT of 513. Our MD class of 2026 students is also equally impressive. These credentials only reflect your past academic accomplishments. You sit before us today to answer an important calling: to become the best possible physician for your patients. You see, it's no longer about you. It's about your patients from now on. Medicine is a demanding, challenging, joyful, and rewarding profession. It's an absolute privilege to care for those less fortunate and to improve the lives of the patients and families we serve. There is no more satisfying professional experience than healing and comforting those under your care. You will change the world one patient, one family, one community, and one nation at a time. Today we celebrate your entry into the profession of medicine, and you assume the obligations of being a physician and a member of our wonderful profession of medicine. The study of medicine is intellectually challenging and can be difficult at times. Occasionally, you may even find it a bit overwhelming. But with perseverance and the mentorship of our outstanding faculty, you will succeed. When you don your white coat today, wear it with the reverence of the medical profession itself. Wear it with a commitment to excellence, humility, compassion, altruism, empathy, and selflessness, recognizing that it's an absolute privilege to be a physician. On behalf of our faculty, I welcome you to our passion and to our calling, the wonderful profession of medicine. It's now my pleasure to introduce Navya Nuthivana, MD class of 2023, to tell you about the heritage of this ceremony and the symbolism of the white coat.
Thank you, Dr. Abu-Hamid. Good afternoon. My name is Navya Nuthivana, and I'm a fourth-year medical student here at EVMS. I'd like to start off by saying to the MD class of 2025 and 2026, congratulations. To those who are part of class of 2026, welcome to EVMS and our community. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here for your journey through medical school and cannot wait to see everything you accomplish. To class of 2025, congrats on finishing your first exam of HLK. You guys entered medical school at a time of uncertainty, both academically and socially, but have rolled with the punches and adjusted extremely well. We're all so proud of what you've already accomplished. However, regardless of what class you're in, I'd like you to take this moment to reflect upon your journey to get to these seats you're in right now. Whether you knew your entire life that medicine was the only career for you, or whether you've had several other fulfilling careers prior to choosing medicine, there was a point in your life where all you wanted was that acceptance letter in your email. You poured your time, energy, and have no doubt made sacrifices, hoping and wishing that somebody would believe in you enough to give you a chance to show them the incredible physician you would become. And now you're here. Throughout medical school, there will inevitably be moments of frustration and incredible stress, whether you're doing your formative quiz at 11:55 p.m. or the first final you'll take of the year. In those moments, just take a step back to remember that a few years ago, where you are right now is all you dreamt of. Today, your family, friends, colleagues, and mentors have gathered to welcome the future of EVMS, you, into the profession of medicine. At EVMS, this welcome involves donning the symbolic white coat. As a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society at EVMS, I am honored to tell you about this ceremony, the symbol, and its significance to you. The White Coat Ceremony has a treasured history. It was founded by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation at commencement for Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons in 1993, where Dr. Arnold Gold has been a professor and pediatric neurologist for more than 40 years. Dr. Gold's wife, Dr. Sandra Gold, witnessed students delivering the Hippocratic Oath at Columbia's graduation and concluded that the oath was being recited 4 years too late. Instead, her and her husband decided to formally induct medical students into the profession at the beginning of their studies and subsequently developed the White Coat Ceremony. The Gold Foundation celebrates humanism in medicine and introduces medical students to their roles and responsibilities in the medical profession on the first day of their education. Today, White Coat ceremonies occur at 97% of accredited schools of medicine in the United States, Canada, and in 13 other countries. Your white coat symbolizes your entry into the medical profession and welcomes you as a junior colleague. The white coat is personally placed on each student's shoulders by individuals who believe in your ability to carry on the noble tradition of doctoring. It is a personally delivered gift of faith, confidence, and compassion. More importantly, the white coat is a covenant between you and your future patients. By accepting this white coat, you're accepting the responsibility to develop, maintain, and improve your skills and knowledge for years to come, while also maintaining professional attitudes and behaviors, becoming a student of your caliber. Wear your white coat with a commitment to excellence, humility, compassion, altruism, empathy, and selflessness. As you all have been on this incredible but difficult journey towards and in medical school, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts today. Be kind. As I'm sure most of you have already noticed, we have an amazing culture at EVMS where students are cooperative, good-natured, and supportive of their colleagues' success. Getting to know my friends and future colleagues has arguably been one of the best parts of medical school, and if you are able to successfully cultivate this collegiate environment, your classmates will become your family far away from home. I urge you to carry on this tradition as it will become an important part for your well-being as you grind away with schoolwork. Be humble. EVMS graduates are known for their legacy of being extremely humble yet hardworking physicians. We cultivate the idea and culture that medical school is a privilege, and we are incredibly fortunate to be here, and the faculty, the administration, hospital staff, and our patients all play an integral role in our education. Avoid the temptation of feeling entitled, and you'll get far during medical school residency and in your medical career. Be community-centered. As many of you already know, this school was a result of grassroots movement in which the local community came together to build a medical school to meet the medical needs of Hampton Roads. Whether your goal is to become a primary care physician, radiologist, or anything in between, at the foundation of the medical profession is the desire to help the needy and cure the sick. Further, a firm foundation and belief in the why of medicine will carry you through the darkest days of medical school, when schoolwork becomes overwhelming and patient care seems exhausting. The opportunity to interact with the most marginalized of our patients has been a vital experience in reminding myself why I wanted to be a physician in the first place. Lastly, be an advocate for your own dreams. Each of you has a vision for how you want your career in medicine to look like. Getting to this point is no small task, and you've taken your first steps in officially becoming a physician. Keep taking that initiative to make those visions come true. Introduce yourself to everyone. Email that professor you met in passing for research opportunities. This time will be what you make of it. While medical school is challenging, it can be one of the most invigorating and rewarding experiences of our lives. Be excited to learn, experience, and grow. On behalf of the MD class of 2023, congratulations to you on this special day. We're incredibly proud to call you our colleagues and are happy to have you in the EVMS family. And now, please join me in welcoming to the podium Dr. Ronald Flenner, Vice Dean of Academic Affairs and a graduate of the MD class of 1989.
Thank you, Navia, and good afternoon. I hope you all heed those incredibly valuable words of advice that she just imparted to all of us. To the class of 2025 and those joining us from the class of 2026, I want to say congratulations. You've already accomplished so much in your first year, but this is a special day in your medical school journey, and today you continue your work to have come to EVMS so eager to do so, to learn from the faculty and staff, from each other, and most importantly, from your patients. As you've heard already, the road ahead is challenging, but it's certainly worthwhile. You represent the next generation of physicians, and there are countless of people in our community, in our country, in the world who will depend upon you to improve the health of the well-being of humanity. And it's likely that I will be seeing you in some capacity as a physician as well, so work hard and study. Let your white coat serve as a constant reminder of that responsibility. Hippocratic said that wherever the art of medicine is loved, there's also a love of humanity. Never underestimate the impact you can have on a person through your work, and never forget the importance of loving what you do. In truth, nothing you do as a physician will be more important than to know and care for your patients. And in terms of personal satisfaction, there is none greater than being able to help another human being. And I know the experiences you will have here at EVMS will shape you and the rest of your lives, and it's my privilege to be a part of that journey. It's also an honor today to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ann Campbell. It's truly hard to describe all the ways that Dr. Campbell has made an impact on EVMS, as well as students, staff, faculty, and those who have walked the halls. Her influence began in 1982 as a research scientist in the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Cell Biology. And for 28 years, she trained postdoctoral fellows, graduate students, and medical students like you, including myself, all while making groundbreaking discoveries in her NIH-funded research. She was one of the few female researchers at EVMS during that time and paved the way for women in medicine. She is the recipient of a Virginia State Council of Higher Education Outstanding Faculty Award. From EVMS, she received the Dean's Outstanding Faculty Award and Dean's Faculty Achievement Awards for teaching in the basic sciences, for institutional service, and for mentoring, as well as the Women in Medicine Award. Dr. Campbell is especially proud of the recognition she received from medical students who awarded her the Sir William Osler Award for Excellence in Teaching and inducted her into the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society and the Gold Humanism in Medicine Society. That passion for supporting students continued when she left the lab to become the Associate Dean for Student Affairs until her retirement in 2017. To those who know her, including myself, she is adored. We are honored to have Dr. Campbell here today.
Ever since I can remember, I have been a strict rule follower. I tend to follow the rules to the letter. My siblings and colleagues sometimes found this annoying. Even Dr. Flenner once commented he's never seen me jaywalk. As the principal investigator of a research laboratory, my tendency to follow the rules was beneficial. After all, I was responsible for the safety of the fellows, graduate and medical students, and research assistants with respect to biological agents, radiation, and chemicals. Rule following was also an advantage when writing grants and manuscripts because not paying attention to instructions could render your submission immediately rejected in a highly competitive environment. When transitioning to student affairs, I found the rules and policies were important for consistency, efficiency, and fairness to all students. Rules also applied to accountability to our accreditation agency that recommends we have certain policies in place to protect students' rights, privacy, and promote student wellness. Most importantly, rules and policies promote a culture at EVMS reflective of the type of physicians we want to train. We aim to graduate students who are not only competent, but compassionate. Therefore, having practices that promoted a positive learning environment where all students are treated with respect and compassion is vital to our mission. Within student affairs, I noticed acts of compassion among students, faculty, and administrators on almost a daily basis. Students stop by on their way to an exam to say, we'll be back to talk about how we can help the homeless people we see on the streets right here in Ghent. A module director expressed concern about the well-being of a student who appeared to be struggling and asked if I would encourage them to take advantage of the student health services we provide. And adding on their way out the door, by the way, this student has an exam at the end of the week. Perhaps you can write an excused absence to postpone that exam so that their score actually reflects their knowledge base and not their health status. And then the director of mental health totally breaking the rules by allowing me to make an appointment for the very distressed student with their permission, of course. If you pay attention, you will learn so much about becoming a caring and humanistic physician, not just within the classroom through didactic learning, but by observing your mentors and peers who serve as positive role models. There's a term within medical education called the hidden curriculum. It was initially introduced as a negative concept. So think, do as I say, not as I do. Rule followers hate that expression. A situation, think perhaps, where mentors' actions do not reinforce the concept of a caring physician taught as part of the formal curriculum. Imagine a resident who verbally abused students or nurses. Imagine an attending asking you to check on Mr. Jones, not on Mr. Jones or Ms. Smith, but on the obese or Medicaid patient. Or skipping rounds on a patient who struggles with the English language because it would take too long to navigate the language barrier. Now, these are true examples, but from the literature, not from EVMS. Research suggests that the negative aspects of the hidden curriculum can lead to student burnout, influence specialty choices, and are detrimental to developing a healthy professional identity. However, I encourage you to learn from the positive hidden curriculum you will find during your years at EVMS. I represented EVMS on an American Medical Association research study to define how the hidden curriculum affects student well-being. I was assigned to a subcommittee to specifically research the influence of the learning environment on student empathy. I like Brené Brown's definition of empathy, as written in her latest book, Atlas of the Heart. Her research suggests there are two types of empathy. Cognitive empathy is the ability to recognize and understand another person's emotion. It is connecting to what someone is feeling about an experience without not necessarily relating to the experience itself. You don't have to have been a cancer patient, for example, to recognize the emotion of fear, grief, or love expressed by someone suffering from cancer. Now, affective empathy, on the other hand, is personally relating on an emotional level to someone else. Dr. Brown then defines compassion as an action taken in response to empathy. I offer you an example from a graduate in the MD class of 2022. She was taught cognitive empathy through formal didactic learning in the classroom and clinic. But she learned it is okay to express affective empathy at times through her observations of attendings, residents, and peers. So Anna explained to me that the importance of cognitive empathy in medicine is actually part of the formal curriculum taught during clinical skills. Students are given phrases that must be included in patient encounters to receive points for empathy. Students are often taught empathetic language, like they are taught the Krebs cycle. But Anna assumed through this didactic learning that it was inappropriate to express affective empathy. In third year, however, this changed. She was in the room of a patient she had cared for 3 weeks. He was undergoing a painful death secondary to esophageal cancer. His energy waxed and waned. One day he was quite talkative. With the whole team in on rounds, the elderly man expressed his wishes to go home, take his grandson for one last ride on the tractor, and die in the presence of his family. He looked back on his life and expressed feelings about the good times and the bad times. It was then that Anna first cried in front of a patient, and it felt odd to her, even inappropriate. However, she looked around and noticed she was not the only one visibly expressing their own emotions. Others were crying too. It was then that she realized it is okay to feel affective empathy at times, and this lesson resonated with her professional identity as a caring physician. Finally, I offer another example from my own experiences, not as a faculty member or administrator, but as a patient. 6 months after my retirement from EVMS, I was diagnosed with oral squamous cell carcinoma. Treatment required a 14-hour surgery, 14 days in the hospital, several reconstructive plastic surgeries, and more. I am sincerely grateful to my clinical team of Drs. Daniel Caracalla, Matthew Bach, and Eric Dobratz in the EVMS Department of Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery. They are highly competent and compassionate physicians and educators. And I was thankful for the dedicated nurses and residents who took the time and sometimes broke the rules to provide personalized care. I honestly look forward to the 5 a.m. visits from residents who provided not only medical knowledge, but hope, humor, and sometimes sports scores. And there were often 5 p.m. visits from Dr. Knight or Dr. Flanner, who were likely only halfway through their workday, yet took the time for a visit. One of the most important visits I had with Dr. Caracalla, my surgical oncologist, had nothing to do with me. I was walking from the waiting room into the exam room one day when I noticed a man in an alcove off the hallway. He was dressed in a bright red jumpsuit. He was handcuffed to a chair with wheels and was accompanied by someone from the sheriff's office. I made eye contact with him, thinking that in this context, we have a lot in common. We're both anxious today as to what our physician may find or reveal about our latest path report. And we are both afraid of our future. Dr. Caracalla must have noticed this interaction because he said to me, "I see you've seen my next patient." And I said, "Yes, and I bet you treat him exactly the same way you treat me." Well, that opened up a wave of sincere and highly passionate feelings from Dr. Caracalla about the importance of health equity and how he takes great pride in providing the same standard of care to all patients, and that he is pained when others generalize and assume that those who have a different skin color or socioeconomical status than he are provided a lower quality of care. Yes, health disparity is definitely real. The book Under the Skin by Linda Villarosa does an excellent job of bringing this to light. Interesting, the author gives high praise to medical schools and especially medical students in taking the initiative to make needed changes. But my point is that if you look around, you will see examples of healthcare providers who share your high standards and values. You can learn as much from them as you can the formal curriculum. Look for the positive hidden curriculum at EVMS. It's not all that hidden, and it can be found among your peers, the faculty, and the administrators. Best of luck to all of you in your endeavors.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell, for your insightful words. We're glad she's enjoying her retirement, but we sure do miss her at EVMS. It's now time for the presentation of the white coats. Would the chairs or their designees from our basic science and clinical departments please rise as I call your names in order of department. Representing dermatology is Department Chair Dr. Abby Van Voorhees. Representing emergency medicine is Department Chair Dr. Barry Knapp. Representing Family and Community Medicine Chair is Dr. Allison Dobby. Representing Internal Medicine is Department Chair Dr. Rehan Kayem. Representing Microbiology and Molecular Cell Biology is Department Chair Dr. Julie Carey. Representing Ophthalmology is Professor of Clinical Ophthalmology Dr. Ira Letterman. Representing Otolaryngology is Department Chair Dr. Barry Strasnick. Representing Pathology and Anatomy is Department Chair Dr. Richard Conran. Representing Pediatrics is Department Chair Dr. C.W. Gowan Jr. Representing Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation is Dr. Soon Kwan. Representing Physiologic Medicine is Professor Dr. Deborah Damon. Representing Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences is Acting Department Chair Dr. David Spiegel. Representing Surgery is Department Chair Dr. L.D. Britt. The chairs and department representatives are here today to help our students into their white coats. We have a tradition here of allowing legacy family members or EVMS-affiliated physicians to assist in donning their students' white coats, and today we're fortunate to have 10 families who meet the criteria. These students will be presented their white coats at the end of the group. When your name is called, please approach the stage, and at this time I would like to invite Dr. Abba Hamid and Dr. Campbell to join me so we can congratulate each of you as you leave the stage.
Sarah Abernathy, Emil Asan, Kripa Ahuja, Oyindamala Akanusi, Jaime Luis Amarante, Elsie Amoako Kisi, Mary Anand, Savannah Angel, Nicholas Arts, Ivan Babkoff, Vibhav Badrish, Eason Barclay, Anna Barudi.
You may now don your white coats.
Heather Beatty, Abigail Bent, Rachel Bradley, Shada Campbell, Chad Caraway, Joseph Carton, Rio Castro, Destiny Cates, Spencer Chi, Benjamin Chilampath, Madeline Coleman, Tasia Coleman, Julia Cornelius.
You may now don your... You may now don your white coats.
Maria Cortez, Margaret Caniff, Peter Caniff, Courtney Cushman, Carlo Deldano, Bishaka Damala, Tracy Dean, Taylor Drake, Alexander Ekstrom, Samantha Elliott, Ian Incarnation, Trevor Fochko, Taylor Figs.
You may now don your white coats.
Aiden Findley, Ariel Float, Chris Fungway, Michael Gannon, Deja Gilliam, Elizabeth Graham, Eric Goldborg, Theradu Ganawardena, Neha Gupta, Caitlin Hardy, Angelica Hochter, Raymond Hogg, Hannah Jensen.
You may now don your white coats.
Paul Jin, Maurice Johnson, George Jones, Timory Jordan, Aaliyah Joseph, Rajita Kanapareddy, Catherine Karbasi Afshar, Kenyane King, Sai Kadapali, Caitlin Ling, Danielle Long, Bhavya Maladi, Stephen Manga.
You may now don your white coats.
Scott Marston, Damian Martinez Pineda, Matthew McCarran, James McGinn, Elizabeth McGrady, Noah Meester, John Millerhagen, Neely Minson, William Montgomery, Adun Nasir, Dennis Nachinda, Benjamin Neubauer, Catherine Nguyen.
You may now don your white coats.
Atif Niaz, Kristen Olson, Nana Anyekaba, Michael Osei Nakanza, Fletcher Pierce, Emily Piltz, Dustin Platter, Brendan Podzes, Lynn Kwan, Megan Ralston, Samra Rashid, Arif Rastagar, Shruti Rathnam.
You may now don your white coats.
Faith Reed, Brendan Race, Morgan Rouse, Ryan Saul, Fatima Sebti, Sarah Sebti, Saad Salim, Nicholas Scouten, Annika Shah, Oren Schechter, Leah Shelton, Caitlin Shee, Nima Singh.
You may now don your white coats.
Caleb Smack, Nathaniel Smucker, Mark Solomon, Hannah Stamus, Lauren Stogner, Samantha Strom, Reyesa Techo Kemaju, John Thurber, Reagan Treadwell Smucker, Shika Trivedi, Chukukwa Ikekwe, Jonathan Ulrich, Mark Velasquez.
You may now don your white coats.
Nikki Vu Huynh, Camille Williams, Jamie Wilson, Madeline Wright, Mahalet Yared, Miguel Llerena.
You may now don your white coats. We would now like to recognize several members of the MD class of 2026 who were unable to attend their ceremony 2 weeks ago.
Curtis Cahy, Louis Fanny, Julianne Giorzi, Susie Lim, Caitlin McCarthy, Leah McElhenney, Clara Nachmanoff, Alim Osman, Margaret Smith, Samantha Smith, Emily Sturm.
You may now don your white coats. Thank you. Chairs and department representatives, you may now be seated. At this time, I'd like to invite to the stage the designated family members who will present the white coats to their respective legacy students. Dr. Cynthia N. Austin, member of the MD class of 1989 and assistant professor of obstetrics and gynecology, will coat her son. Dr. Nariman Dash, residency class of 2004, and Dr. Holly Raji, residency class of 2002, will coat their son. Dr. Angela Duff Hogan, professor of pediatrics, will coat her daughter in memory of her late father and EVMS faculty member, Dr. Christopher James Hogan. Dr. Ira Letterman, professor of clinical ophthalmology, will coat his grandson. Dr. Lester Johnson, department chair and professor of radiology, will coat his daughter. Dr. Karen Subert, member of the MD class of 1984, residency class of 1987, and assistant professor of clinical internal medicine, will coat her son. Dr. Peter Park, member of the MD class of 1992 and residency class of 1993, will coat his son. Dr. Arjun Saini, MD class of 2019, will coat his brother. Dr. David Schinderly, cardiac anesthesiologist in the Department of Surgery, will coat his daughter. Dr. David Schulmeister, residency class of 1987 and retired assistant professor of clinical emergency medicine, will coat his daughter. I'd like to now call forth the students. Dan Austin. Brandon Dashtazad. Kelly Hogan. Brandon Johnson. Catherine Johnson. Tristan Kuhn. Ryan Park. Krishan Saini. Colleen Schinderly. Rachel Schulmeister. You may now don your white coats. Would the MD class of 2025 and 2026 please stand for reading of the Hippocratic Oath? Students, you can find the oath printed on page 7 of your program, and in addition to the students, we invite all other physicians here today to join in recitation of the oath. Upon this day of matriculation into the Eastern Virginia Medical School, as I seek admission to the medical profession, I do solemnly affirm, as did the ancient Greeks, by all that I hold most sacred, that, according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and its stipulations. I hold my teachers in this art equal to my own parents and extend to them the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will by precept, lecture, and every other mode of instruction impart a knowledge of the art of my progeny and those of my teachers and disciples bound by covenant and oath according to the law of medicine. I will follow that system of treatment which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operations for a criminal purpose, nor far less suggest such a thing. With honor and dignity, I will practice my profession, not permitting consideration of religion, nationality, race, or social standing to intervene between duty and my patient. Into whatsoever houses I enter, I will go for the benefit of the sick, and will hold myself aloof from every voluntary act of wrongdoing or corruption. Whatever I may see or hear in the lives of others which ought not be spoken abroad, I will not divulge, reckoning that such should be kept secret. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art respected by all people in all times. But should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. You may now be seated. So we're coming to the conclusion of our ceremony today, and we'd just like to thank everyone for attending such a very important and exciting event in the lives of our students and their families. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.